Hi, it's Bridgette. Welcome to Above Life Channel. The purpose here is to inspire your spirit and fill you with hope. Today, we're actually doing a Sunday morning coffee podcast episode. It's like once I turn on the microphone, the computer, I'm filming from my computer, the minute I hit go live and the microphone lights up, something happens for me and I just click into this energy. I plug in and I love that. I need that today. I'm sure some of you do as well. I thought it would be a good idea to go live today. I got up late and I thought for Sunday morning coffee, I hadn't actually pre-recorded a topic. I did read something last night, I think it was. No, was it full moon night or was it retrograde night or would it have been the night the queen died? I can't remember. It has been a Thursday, a Friday, a Saturday, and now it's a Sunday. 4 days we've had massive energetic nodal points that are affecting us all as humans and as souls. And that's gonna you're gonna feel that. Yeah, as much as you try to ignore, distract, or avoid, you are gonna feel. And so today, and I'm looking at my time, it's like I think it's 8:53 a.m. Central Time right now. And when I woke this morning, I wasn't thinking of the date. I hadn't thought of it. I thought of it yesterday and the day before, and then, I thought of that, but I didn't think of it this morning. So I read something a few nights ago, and I want to share that with you and talk about that. And we'll move through our time together this morning with that. Okay. I did pour some coffee. I noticed that there's a little fly in here buzzing around. It's like that term, a fly on your wall. Sometimes on YouTube, you have no idea who's really watching you because anybody can. So I'd like to be a fly on the wall. Well, some of you might be, so welcome. It's okay. It's just Sunday morning coffee with Bridgette. We're having our coffee and we're going to have conversation. Today, on Sunday, September 11th, 2022, I'm actually going to use a little bit of this oil that I have. It's a very sacred oil, very divine feminine. I anointed with it this morning. And all that means is I took it out of the bottle and I used it. I used a little bit on the back of my neck for the third eye and honoring the lineage and the past, and then a little bit on my throat chakra as well, and then down into my heart. Sacred practices like this. This is a Rosa Mystica formulation of a rose oil, Rosa Mystica. And it's a very high quality, beautiful Bulgarian roses and a gorgeous mixture from Diana Duboro from the Emerald Temple. So if you're interested in that, look up Emerald Temple oils. I think you have to put oils in, otherwise you'll get something else kind of weird. But this I'll use because I'll access and activate the divine feminine. I'm feeling this a lot this morning, so I'm going to share this with you. I did this morning. In the wee early hours of the dawn, for sure. Yeah. So sharing that with you. We'll put it on the altar space, which is just a sacred space behind me that I have. Okay. Let's begin by let me share with you the passage that I read and what I originally had kind of in my energetic field about today, and it's about perspective and reflection, and it's so perfect for today. And I didn't even think about it, the date-wise and the historic meaning. Okay. This is going to be a little bit of a different, I think, vibration to Sunday morning coffee with Bridgette, perhaps. I do carry very much a divine feminine energy, and I have been very much in it lately, very much embodying it, and I'm sharing that with you this morning. And I hope you'll receive it for the gift that it is. Yeah, just another aspect of myself, just like you have different aspects of you, right? Okay, a little bit of coffee. I have a little vanilla custard cream latte vibe going on here. Something about that vanilla. Kind of like how that tastes, you know? All right. I've been reading a lot. I've been so inspired by words. And let me just tell you, I've always been a writer anyway, for myself, like journaling. You know, if you've followed my work, you know I'm an advocate of journaling because it, especially if those of you who are overthinkers, it gets your data out. It gets the mind, just gives it someplace to flow. And so I've always been an avid advocate of journaling, and writing for myself. I've written a lot myself, and over the years, ever since I was young, and definitely connected that way, a good place for connection. So I've been discovering books and meaningful writing, like poetry and inspired writing. So this is actually from The Language of Letting Go by Beattie. Daily Meditations on Codependency. She actually did a lot of work in addiction and recovery. She happens to be from Minnesota and not far from where my kids went to high school. So super close. I had no idea. I actually was introduced to her by Peter Mon, who is a YouTuber, in his on one of his channels called Peterisms. He shares about his addiction and recovery journey, and it's just inspiring stuff. He reads out of different books, or he did, this was a few years ago now, but that's where I was introduced to her. And then I read her book, Codependency No More. I've listened to it on Audible. Literally, this is my third time through. And periodically I'll go back and I'll reread chapters, like chapter 5 or 6, I think it is, about attachment, healthy attachment. It's really good. It's not just for you if you're in a specific circumstance or situation. It's for everyone to understand relationship and how you interact with people, or how people interact with you, whether you're in personal relationship, or with your parents, with coworkers, with lovers, if you're dating, if you're in a marriage or relationship. It helps you understand how people are interacting with you, and there's so much talk now about trauma and trauma bonds and toxic relationships or toxic people or narcissism and all this stuff. So the Codependency No More, I recommend it. There will be parts that if you're not in the recovery community, that might not feel super resonant, like you might not be able to relate to, but chances are you will in some way, because somebody that has been down that path or is in that struggle now. Or at the very base, you just skip some of those stories and go to the places where there's discussion about the traits, characteristics, the interactions, the connections. Just do that. Trust me on this. It's called Codependency No More. It's by Beattie. Okay, it's great. Listen to it on Audible. It's a lot, though. It's a lot. You can't listen to it all at once. It's not like just hey, I'm going to read this in a day on a trip on a plane. No, it doesn't work like that. So The Language of Letting Go. I'm going to read from this daily meditations, okay, on codependency. All right. So it's just every day you read a passage. It gets your mind focused on something different. It gets you to contemplate and work through maybe some emotions or thoughts. It feels like freedom to me and permission. I like the way this is set up. I should write a book like this. Wouldn't that be awesome? Oh, good idea, Bridgette. Just add that to the list. All right, so we're going to start with this. Hi, nice to see you all on the live stream. Hey, Ash, nice to see you, dear. Okay, Eileen, oh, nice to see you. Oh, Mary, hi. Nice to see you, too. I got your email. I'll respond to that again. All right, there is a fly here. I think it's our totem animal. That means somebody's watching us. I'm sorry. No, some people are watching that are not chatting in the live stream, which is fine. You don't have to do that. That's okay. Fly. Something trying to annoy me. Have some coffee. And for those of you who know me really well, we're bringing out the cookies in a minute. Okay. All right, settle in, my loves, and let me read to you, okay? All right, here we go. Perspective. Perspective. Too often we try to gain a clear perspective before it is time. That will make us crazy. We do not always know why things are happening in the way that they are. We do not always know how a particular relationship will work out. We do not always understand the source of our feelings, why we've been led down a particular path, what is being worked out in us, what we are learning, why we needed to recycle, why we had to wait, why we needed to go through a time of discipline, or why a door closed. How our present circumstances will work out into the larger scheme of events is not always clear to us. Is it ever really clear? That is just how it needs to be. Now, here's the line that I felt for Sunday morning coffee with you. Perspective will come in retrospect. If you have a journal and a pen, write that down. Perspective will come in retrospect. We could strain for hours today for the meaning of something that may come in an instant next year. God, my friends, I'm banking on that. I'm banking on having that kind of perspective in retrospect. We may strain for hours today for the meaning of something that will come in an instant in a year. It's like that ever asked question, why? The answer to why is always because. ... That's a Bridgette thing. That's not her thing. All right. Let it go. Should we sing? We don't have to be so serious, right? Let it go. Let it go. Okay. We can let go of our need to figure things out and to feel in control. We can? Is that an option? Did I not check that box? We can let go of our need to figure things out, to feel in control. Thank you, Melody, for that. We can? So if we can't do something or feel like we can change something, or feel like we're a victim of a circumstance or somebody else's dumbass choices, or we feel like we have no freaking clue what we're supposed to be doing or how to get from here to where we want to be, or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, you fill in the blank for your scenario, we can actually let go of our need to figure that out. Like we can just stop trying to make sense of things that don't make sense. That's where the wisdom. I feel that. We can stop trying to make sense of things that do not make sense. There are things that don't make sense. That's the answer. They don't make sense. So then I have had this experience during the entire month of August. It was a huge forced churning of a letting go for me, and real deepening in. It's like, this is where you go big or you go home. This is where you give up or you give in. This is where you grow or where you die. And you're going to die to grow. Energetically, metaphysically, in your thoughts and your values, everything must be put on the table and be able to change, evolve, and grow to match you as your soul grows and changes and evolves. And the people that do not fit will leave, and the jobs that are not in alignment will go, and new opportunities will present themselves. That's why they're called presents. Presenting themselves. It will happen. And you have to walk the past and let go of the past and walk the path so that you can be available for those options. And it's painful to be available because the availability sometimes feels like being alone. Do you hear me? Do you need more coffee for this one? Do you need more coffee for this one? Sometimes letting go to be available for what is coming and what is more in alignment means detaching from trying to relive the past or change it so that you can be here in the moment, in the present, to receive the gifts of the options and opportunities that will co-create your future. Yes. So letting go isn't like this painful thing. Doesn't have to be. And being available, when you let go, you feel a bit of a loneliness. There is a loneliness because there's so much familiarity and comfort in the crap from the past. Not all the past is good and warm and fuzzy and cookies and flowers and sweet kisses. Not all the past is that. Sometimes it's horrific breakups, toxic relationships, bad work environments, abusive scenarios, shitty luck. And sometimes it's good. Like sometimes there's sweetness, great memories, awesome experiences, celebratory times in our lives that we wish I could just feel like that person again, that person that used to do this, that person that used to do that, and that person that was so brave and had the whole world in front of them. And was just, do you ever do that? Like the reminiscent part of you, the good part, right? Both of those things, the bitter and the sweet from the past, must be released. They're never going to be totally gone because they're integrated into the parts of you. They're part of you. They're compost. They're your soil. The past is your soil. The past is the soil. Tend to it by consistently being aware through the process of the changes of your seasons of your life and letting go, letting the past go. And trust me, when it needs to come up and smack you in the face, it will. You don't have to hold on so you don't make the mistake again. You have to let go of the cycle and the pattern so you won't repeat it in the most painful of ways. You might repeat it. It might come to you in a way to acknowledge your learning, acknowledge your development. That's why it says here, we may strain for hours today in the present moment for the meaning of something that may come in an instant in the year. Today is the past a year from now. What you're freaking out about today, a year from now, is not going to be the same thing. Chances are, likely, you're not going to be freaking out about the same thing. And if you are freaking out about the same thing, it's a pattern. And it will be different. It's not going to be exactly how it is today. Trust me. Today is 9/11. Yesterday was a massive full moon. The day before was the beginning of a retrograde. The day before that, these 4 days, the Queen, a 70-year monarchy of divine feminine woman trailblazer, ended, shifted. I guarantee you in 1 year from today, you will not be sitting in the same place. For the good or for the bad, that's you to decide. Let go. Let go. Let go. We can let go of our need to figure things out, to feel in control. If you're a parent, you might want to put that on a Post-it note. Whether your kids are babies, toddlers stressing you the F out, oh my God, toddlers, or whether you're in a place where they're teenagers or middle schoolers, oh my gosh, and they're freaking you out, or worse, they are now 20 and they've been through COVID. And they were in high school during COVID, and their whole perspective of the world is completely different, and their coping mechanisms are all wired in a strange and unusual state. And they might not be on a particular path. And that might be hard for us, you as the parent, to understand, or you as the grandma, the nana, or you as the dad or the brother looking at that going, what? Get your shit together. We have to let go of the need for us to figure things out for ourselves, for us to feel in control, and for us to then, if we let go of the ability or this need that we have to figure things out, to know, to rationalize, to make sense of it, to know the why, if we can let go of that a little bit, or just loosen it up just a little bit, give me a little more rope, give me a little more leeway, I need a little more flexibility in this relationship. If you have that conversation with yourself and allow yourself the flexibility, things could be amazing. If you give yourself some slack in the rope, don't hang yourself with it. Give yourself some slack, because then you will also give that and afford that energetic to everybody around you. And guess what? They won't be so stressed out because you're not projecting your disapproval or judgment on them, or your lack of feeling like you're an accomplished achiever in yourself. And so you're redirecting that to your kid or to your coworker or to your friend, and you're giving so much valuable opinion from your place of lack and inability to figure your own things out. I want to swear. Figure your own shit out. And the need to feel in control, because control is a natural thing. Our brain wants to step in and help you because it thinks you're too emotional or you're going to lose your mind. And oh my God, we need you to show up at work every day because we need to pay the bills, and you need to be at this place for this person, for that doctor appointment, and all these relationships and all these different people pulling on you. And so we need to keep you together, right? So you need to be in control. So the brain is telling you that. There's a spiritual term for control. It's called flow. Okay, it's called energy flow. You have to be aware of the fact that things are moving, and oftentimes, if there are things that are really part of you, they're orbiting around you. Yes, you are the center of the universe, and yes, it's not, if it's meant for you, it'll find you. That's not what I'm talking about, because that's like a spiritual bypass cop-out for people sometimes. Oh, I'm just going to do nothing, and I'm just going to trust that people just come into my life, and I'll just do whatever and accept whatever comes to me. No, you still have to use your brain, but you don't have to control everything. There's a balance between just letting everybody decide for you, or circumstances or situations decide for you, or take you over and just whatever, take away your power, or letting other people control you, because that's what's happening in that scenario. Or there's a difference between that, okay, and totally controlling and being power, like I'm in power. There's a balance, and that's what we're seeing now in the world. That's why there's so much energetic points right now. That's why there's a balance. That's why there's a need for perspective from a retrospective position. Think about where you were last time, this year, last time, September 2021. Think back. School had just started. If you have a kid in the school, think about the grade they were in. If you just started your master's, or you're just going back to college, or you just graduated and it's your first time not having to go to school, maybe you changed jobs. Maybe you ended a relationship. Maybe you were grieving the loss of a loved one. Life is very different today than it was then, isn't it? And all that you have experienced from then until now has been integrated into you. It has been mulched up and added to your soil. You don't have to control all that process. You didn't have to do any maybe all we've had to do is just constantly let go. And letting go doesn't mean you aren't active in your choices. Letting go doesn't mean you're not engaged and showing up and participating. It doesn't mean you're blowing off your responsibilities and telling everybody to go themselves. That's not what letting go means, my friends. It means different things. Yes, it's a gradient scale. It's a rainbow of possibilities. Yes. But the need to control is your mind. Showing up, trying to fix things for other people, and it's connected to the energy of people pleasing, which gives you affirmation about yourself. And if you project outward and focus on trying to control or trying to figure things out, it keeps your brain really involved, and you're not even active in your heart. You're not even honoring your spirit, your soul. Your intuition gets shoved in the backseat of the car and says, shut up. We're almost there. And their brain is driving. You need a balance, body, mind, heart, and soul. You need all of you. Okay, all of you. That's what this is about. All of you. No control, shared power, equanimity. My sovereignty, my alignment does not threaten yours, and yours does not threaten mine. And your opinion gets to be yours. And I have learned this since 2020. Yours doesn't threaten mine. I don't need to fix you. You're not broken. You're just reorganizing. And so am I. Oh, we're just on fire today. Yes. Okay, keep going. Now is the time to be, to feel, to go through it. It doesn't say sit in it, wallow, and I'm such a victim. Oh, please fix me, help me. It doesn't, that's not. You can do that for a hot minute. I do that too sometimes. I'm like, oh, somebody please just rescue me. You can do that. It's fine. And guess who's coming in? It's you on your gorgeous brown thoroughbred horse or palomino. I love horses. Healing. All right. That's a nod to my natural lifemanship friends, my equine coaches. All right. Now is the time to be, to feel, to go through it, to allow things to happen, to learn, to let whatever is being worked out take its course. Because there is stuff going on your behalf. The universe is advocating for you. You and your spiritual team and your healing helpers are advocating for you. They are working through things. And so too, you know this. I know this myself in my personal life experience. For sure, I know that. I've said that multiple times recently. I know this and I know that, and I'm feeling like, oh my gosh, and I'll share with you why that might be in a second. If you want to know my personal stuff, I'll tell you. Oh, wait, you're not here for that. Above Life channel. Okay, I forgot. To let whatever's being worked out take its course. It's got to run its course. It's like a sickness, a virus. Let it run its course. Or it's like a college class. That's hard. It's like your math or physics class. It's hard. Let it run its course. It's like watching your kids do something stupid, like get involved in a relationship they should not be in. And you just have to let it run its course because they will learn. It's their life, not yours. They might know shit that you do not know. I'm telling you. Hey, nice to see you on the live stream. Hey, Deb. Hi, nice to see you. Clara or Sierra? Heidi. Hi, Heidi. Good morning to you. Hey, everybody. All right. Okay. All right. Focus, Bridgette. Focus. Trying, but this hair is crazy. I'm growing it. That's why it looks like this. It looks crazy. I'm going to grow on the top and shade on the sides. All right. So, in hindsight, okay, I had to be funny. In hindsight, me and my baggy sweatpants. I put my sweats on this morning. My partner, I'm like, hey, and I put my sweatpants on. They're like hanging off my hips. I'm like, I like them this way. Okay. I like them loose. Okay, anyway. You know that kind of hanging off your hips vibe? It's definitely a meridian thing. I think a balancing of the energy at your hips. It's so, energy is so cool. Okay, distracted. This coffee is not yet helping. In hindsight, we will know. It will become clear. It's true, right? Think about it now. Think about the dumb shit that you did in high school right now. From your perspective now. Just think about that. Ah, okay. Now you might understand why your parents said what they did or did what they did. Maybe you judged them for choices they've made in their life. And maybe now is the time to recognize that now that you're an adult and have your own marriage and your own kids, oh, now I understand why they might have done that or not done that. It's like retrospect gives you compassion that you've not had before. That's how I feel about this. It will become clear. It always does. That's how the thing is. People, I think it's karma. Like, oh, karma bit them in the butt. Those assholes. You know what I mean? Like that. No. Come on. Because come on, you know you wish stuff on me. You're like, yeah, well, I hope it sucks. Like that kind of thing. That's a Bridgette thing. At least, I mean, I'm like that. Let's be honest. I'm a little bit snarky, and I hope I'm not a bygones person. It takes me a while to get over stuff. a while. Just so you know, forever friends, and we fight or something. Just know, it takes me a while sometimes to get over stuff. Let's get back to for today. Being is enough. It's enough. Things will become clear. You just have to trust that. And I had a moment like about a week ago when I decided to make my Instagram private, which doesn't mean you can't join, by the way. You just have to request to join. I have to kind of be like, feel this person. Okay. Request to join just so that everybody doesn't just watch as a fly on the wall on Instagram. It was getting a little weird. Let me just say, Instagram is getting a little weird. And so I get to kind of manage that. But when I was in that space, I really felt like how do I say this? There was this moment and a few since that time, just a reassurance or affirmation. Because sometimes when you make a choice, then you look back and you go, God, was that, should I have? I mean, it looks so good after the fact. And in the moment I was like, yeah, no, I'm going to say no. Even though you work so hard to get to a place, then you say no. Because you know why? You know you deserve better. And so you know it's not quite right. You know it's just not, it's good, but it's not great. And you want the great. So you are patient and you wait. And instead you feel that space between the letting go and the loneliness, like, oh, I wanted that. I could have had that. And now I don't have that. I could have already been doing that. I said no to a job. I said no to a job offer that could have been amazing for me. And you get in these places where you kind of have this like, not regret. It's not regret because it's this natural place of contemplation of considering, did you make the right choice? Did you not? But a year from now, perspective turns into retrospect. And it's like, yeah, that was exactly the right choice. And I knew it at the time and I still know it now, but I still have a waver, a little bit of a wobble. Why? Because it's natural. We're human and our head always complains. It's just a complainer. It's always the negative. It's a complainer. That's what happens. But I've had these moments since that time and during that experience a few weeks ago, and then even recently this last week, of this incredible awareness that there's an opportunity to rekindle our trust in the universe. And for you, rekindling the trust in the universe might be believing in yourself again, just doing it. You don't have to prove yourself to yourself. You get to just be yourself, witness yourself, love yourself, and begin to trust yourself again. And now that I'm in a place like that, where I trust myself again, I trust the universe. For you, that might be a God. You might trust God. And by the way, I get weird questions about that. Some people think like I don't believe in God. Yes, I do. I just know that God has a lot of different faces and embodiments within us, our spirit. We are all part of a greatness that some call universe, cosmic consciousness, some call the prime source, some call creator. I like that the best, the creator. Some call goddess, some call God, although I really like goddess. Let me just pause for a moment. Yeah, I really like goddess too. And whatever that is, it's the trust in that. And so I felt that too. And that's enough. For today, being is enough. For today, that's enough. We have been told that all things shall work out for good in our life. We can trust. We can trust that to happen. Even if we cannot see the place today's events will hold in the larger picture, we have to trust. We can trust. We can trust. That's a powerful word. That's profound. That's hard. You might use the word faith instead if you want to believe in higher power and rely upon angels and this kind of perfectionistic, idyllic, perfect, good, purity, innocent, vibrational energy, which is fine. Divine is actually encompassed of that, and to the shadow spots. That's all like the whole Jesus thing, right? The shadow, the healing, all the Mary Magdalens. We all have assets and attributes of all of these incredible divine energies. But you can use the word faith if trust is challenging. Okay, you can use that. Or believing. I just want to believe. Whatever is going to work for you, that's what you do. That's what you focus on. And you just be there today. You just be there. We can trust that things will work out. We can trust that to happen, even if we cannot see that place from today's events. Today's events, in retrospect, today is 9/11. My daughter, my oldest child, was 6 months old, almost 7 months old. She's now 21, working a job, living in a place on her own. Things have changed. Yes. Our individual worlds will continue to change and grow and evolve. And you don't have control over it, but you have choice, you have opportunities, you have connections. All of these to empower you and inspire your spirit as you live a human life. We are both human and spirit. We are both. We are both mind and body and embodiment of a sacred divine. Yes. All right, let's see if there's anything else here. There's a bit of an affirmation we can share. Today, I will let things happen without trying to figure everything out, which actually has been my mantra for this whole week. I have said to my partner over and over and over again, just be in the moment. Let's just be in the moment. Let's just be with this. We've had a really challenging week, and we have had late nights and lots of conversations and lots of connection and lots of really deepening into life. And it's been brutal, to quote Glennon Doyle, beautiful and brutal all in one. That describes life. It's the balance. So today I will let things happen without trying to figure everything out. If clarity is not available to me today, sometimes it's available and you are ignoring it by doing the other things, getting caught up in the past or future projecting, or making some situation be something it's not, so that you either have a bigger fire to fight, some battle to fight, you're the hero, because if you're the hero, then you're not the victim. And sometimes it's just easier to be the victim and let somebody just take care of you and just let go of all your power. And other times, between the victim and the hero, you can find the balance just by being. Just be. But if clarity is available, get clear. Now. I will trust it to come in later in retrospect. Clarity will come in later in retrospect if that is what is needed. I know that there's parts for me that I'm going to look back on this time in my life, and I know there's going to be clarity, which will, I hope, as I'm moving through my process, I'm moving through life and I'm working through my own healing journeys. And there's many, there's not one, there's many. It's layered, right? That I know that I will have walked my path with dignity and integrity and self-respect and self-love and authenticity. One of my core values is authenticity and integrity. And that I will have communicated and connected and shown up and been present in all of that, in my relationships, in my life, in my world. I will put simple trust in the truth that all is well. Events are unfolding as they should, even if they're painful or tragic. And all will work out for good in my life better than I can imagine. Better than I can imagine. I think we need cookies. I have been talking very serious. I think we need to have cookies. Do you remember the old school days when I was sitting in the ring house? This is the last cookie. I will share it with you if you want. We'll start with a half C's. Start with half-C's. That's what we talk about in my house. And I also try not to chow down too much. I mean, it's gluten, okay? So gluten belly, my belly and gluten, not the best thing, but I haven't had cookies in forever. And they showed up. I got them as a gift. So I was like, oh, thank you, cookies. Which part do you want? The big part or the little part? I just have to make it even. Okay. If you have kids, you understand what I just did, right? That's not even. Okay. Okay, now it is. Everything isn't even. Right? Let's see. Hi, Lisa. Nice to see you. How do you feel about the perspective and retrospect? I'm counting on it. I think it's part of the balancing of things, the yin yang. I know. Nobody said it was pretty. Pretty messy? Yes. Wow, you guys, I was like all mellow and chill when I came down here. I was like, oh my God, do I even want to put makeup on? I'm just going to like roll out of bed and go do my Sunday morning coffee. But when I connect in and I feel you, all the little pieces of our conversation today has meant something to someone, and I trust that. I trust. Can you? Can you trust that? I believe in you. I believe in you. Simple as that. I believe in you. Now, if you let me eat your other cookie, the other part of the cookie, we can be friends forever. I will share with you a little bit about, you will notice if you are a fan of some of the changes I've made on my public channels, and so I'm going to share that with you a little bit. Right now, I mentioned on Bridgette Inspired on Instagram, I made it private just to have a little more of a feeling of sacred, like boundaries, a filtering. Not for fear or anything like that. I wasn't like afraid or anything like that. I did have some weird energies, I'll say that. And some people that just weren't appropriate. And I felt the need to have, usually like if I get DMs and things, I don't respond to them anyway. Unless there's a real big ping for some reason, a real big pull or something like that, then I will. Like if I really feel like, whoa, and that only happens every once in a while. Usually like email is the best way to reach me, because I figure if somebody gets to my email and tries to contact me, that means they really did some work trying to get access to me. But so it's private. It doesn't mean it's closed. It just means you have to request to be in it, because you should ask to come into somebody's house. You shouldn't just come right into their house. And if the work that I do, even if I'm Bridgette Inspired, it feels super special to me. It feels sacred and important and loving and kind and compassionate. And I want people to feel that way when they're part of that, when they come to that page. And I know it's just an Instagram, but it's not just an Instagram. It's energy. It's exchanging. It's relational. It's always relational. Hands down, relational. Okay. So I did that. You'll notice that. I took out got rid of a lot of stuff. There was also some spammy stuff. I noticed some spam accounts that kept repeating. So I did that. And then I went to Fairy Grasshopper on YouTube rather abruptly and quickly. I took it offline. Over 700 videos offline. I didn't delete it. I didn't cancel it. I just took it offline for a while. I miss it. I miss just showing up and talking and chatting. And I think I'll do that now on my Bridgette Inspired Instagram. I'll do that. Yeah. For a while. And then eventually I think I'm going to reopen it eventually. I'm going to change it. Right now it's just totally offline, and I'm going through a process with YouTube to make it like private. Right now it's just offline, but it will eventually just be private, so I can give some people access, like if they're doing a class with me and there's extra material, or if there's something that I put on there that's like of a private nature, and I can give access to some people, that kind of thing. So it's not gone, but there's a lot of content on there, and I'm realizing right now how much content was on there. I did a lot of work over the last several years. I started my Fairy Grasshopper YouTube channel in 2012. It's 10 years. There's only like, I think 2,200 subscribers. It's like not very many people. Only the people that really love my work, me, I have been on there, but yeah, I just needed to take it offline for a while. Yeah, I needed to not have it kind of around me for a little bit. I needed to just kind of keep it on the private for a little bit. It's taken a little sabbatical, and then we'll see. I also mentioned on one of my other platforms that I've applied for position. I applied for a position. I ended up being, it was one of those things where you just trusted the universe, and I felt like it was the time to do that, to create some kind of a steady, energetic of financial stability for me, because believe it or not, doing what I do and being on YouTube is not a moneymaker, really. I mean, I'm blessed for whatever gratitude I get for income. That's great. I love it. And I think if I went double down on my psychic work, I could definitely make it my primary source of living in a way that would be competitive with my marketable skills external. I mean, I have education, you guys. I did work in, I have resume, okay? In the human brainiac world, I can function in that way. You might not know me like that, but oh yes, girl's got credentials. So I can do that and have this, and then a solid foundation for my family financially too, and for me financially too. So I thought, I was thinking about it, I was just open to whatever, and all of a sudden I thought, oh, I'll just do this. And when I got the COVID in August, I thought, wow, there's a lot of change going on. I updated my resume and I did that. And the first job I applied for, I got interviewed and called and went through all the process and then got offered a job. And it was perfectly part-time, which is what I wanted, so I can do this too. And it was at a school too, doing all the things that I would love to do. A college, it was a flight school actually. Aviation school. And I said no. I got the offer. Let's just be legit clear, the compensation package wasn't great, but it wasn't horrible. So I said no. It just didn't feel right. And then another job opportunity had come up right away in my awareness the night before I got the offer. And so I thought, oh, I'm going to apply for this too. And so I did that. And now I'm in this other process, kind of. And I just have this incredible amount of trust in the universe that if this is the path I should take, this will work out for me. And I'm going to be aware and in tune and following what feels right. And then I will have the perspective, the beautiful retrospective, I think, of why all this happened the way it did. And that I'm okay with that. I'm just following the process, I'm still working, of course, 100%. I'm not quitting my business. I'm doing my business. It'd be great if I'd have more sessions. That would be helpful. But at the same time, I've been going through a lot since January, maybe even since fall last year. Like, I'd say hardcore the last I would say maybe January has been the hardest. And that's a long ass time because it's September, people. And in July and August was the hardest of it all. The deepest letting go. And the realizing we can't control. And then looking at life in a different perspective from what you do have choices, what I can do instead of what I can't do. You can't influence other people. I can't make somebody hire me. I can't make them pay me $50 an hour. I can't do that. I can't force people to do this, that, and the other thing. But I can do what I can do and follow my intuitive knowing and my alignment and use my brain as a productive, positive force, allowing my values to shift. And they have been shifting. I've had great, deep conversations and very deep connections with people in ways that I never thought I could. And that shows me that the trust in this universe thing is important. Mm-hmm. And just because something turns out a certain way, or it seems like it's done, or it seems like it's not an opportunity anymore, like maybe I've been not too long out of the biz. I don't know. Maybe I've been too long out of the career. I don't know. Maybe if that's the case, maybe. But I won't know unless I walk the path. And if I discover that, then it's just a piece of information. It's not the end. It's never really fully done till I determine it is, till I decide, right? Same with you. You decide. You have so many little choices. In any moment, how are you going to handle your pain? Are you going to numb it? Are you going to do that today? Or are you going to use some beautiful words that resonate with your pain? Some incredible resources that you've never experienced before, like the Book of She. I love this. If you've seen my Instagram, you've seen me quote this. You've seen it from my trip to the ocean. I went to the ocean, to Seattle. I love the coast. And this was new for me, to explore and experience poetry. Although I've written it this last year and I can't wait to share it. I think I'm going to share it on my Bridgette Inspired. I've written a lot of poetry. It's very fiery. I'll say that. I've been able to express and connect in ways that I never thought I could. And that has given me some deeper connections. I'm super grateful for that. I am, yeah. And I want that for you. Please don't give up, no matter where you are, no matter how hard life seems right now. Maybe binge your favorite YouTuber. Check out some playlists. You might get a nugget, a piece of wisdom that inspires you. It doesn't numb you. It calls you and intrigues you. Your curiosity is sparked with that fiery energy. Don't you want to use all this pain for something that is alive and alert and awake? That can help you and the ones you love and give you just this savory vibe of life. Don't you want that? I gotta check my live chat here because I might be getting some weird stuff. Okay, sorry. Guys, I have the chat here now. I'm going to check out the chat. So if you've been watching or listening, if you're listening to the replay, hey, glad you're here, but I don't want to pay attention to the chat. Let me do that. I'm so hot right now. Warm, it's warm, which is good because it's cold today again, you guys, but the sun is out. Maybe that's why I'm warm, I bet. The sun is out. My own personal summers. The joys of being a Bridgette under stress right now. Because there is stress. Even good stuff is stress, you guys. You have to take care of the body. That's what she means. Take care of your bodies. That's why your body care is so important. Seriously, this vessel needs to last. It's not like you're not going to drive the car and never change the oil or get new tires. That's not just a physical, metaphoric reference. It's like an internal thing, you guys. Energetics, that heart chakra, the anxiety. Come on, we got to take care of ourselves. She says that she drinks caffeinated coffee. I also have water and a little bit of a cookie left. If you want that, I gotta check the chat. But as far as Sunday morning coffee with Bridgette, you can jump off now if you want to. I'm gonna interact with the chat. I'm gonna see what people are saying. I'm wanting to be alone a lot yet lately. Yes. I was describing this to my counselor. I said, maybe it was a friend or my partner, somebody. I'm lucky. I have people in my life that I'm just so grateful for. People that just don't hurt you, you know. And if there's hurt or an exchange that's harsh, there's always an understanding as to why. Like there's a meaning for it. It's not just I'm just lucky for the friends I have and the people in my life right now. Being alone, I talked about that. I said, like, loneliness is like an emotion, right? There's this emotion, this recognition of it's just me and me. And then I think the loneliness, the space of the feeling about it is one thing. That's just a feeling, right? It's a feeling. It's something that, an emotion. And I always say in my work that emotions, because it helps me to differentiate, just so you know. I know emotions are more than this. Okay, I know they are. psychologically and all that, okay? But I always say that emotions are information, because then you can think of it as something that it's not supposed to be your identity. Emotion is not supposed to be your, oh, I'm going to be this today. You know, it's not like that. It feels like that though. It does, doesn't it? Like, I want to be happy. I want to be joy. I want to feel this. I want to be that. I want to be a good person. Well, all that is like made up of all these other things, right? Like, that's emotion isn't you, isn't who you are. It's a part of information of how you're reacting, interacting, connecting with the world, and kind of shows the disconnect when it's a negative emotion, like a loneliness feels like a gap emotion, a gap, like a space that doesn't feel comfortable. It feels like there is this awareness then of the distance between what you want and what you don't have, what isn't in your life. That gap space is what loneliness is. It doesn't mean you're a bad person, nobody wants you, you're too old to date, you're not smart enough for that job, you're too curvy, you're not curvy enough, you're all the things that society tells you that's so conflicting, right? So it makes sense that we would all, at any given point of time of day, multiple times a day or week, whatever, have times where we feel loneliness because there's a gap between what we want and what we have. That's all that is. It's not an inherent character flaw for you, okay? It's not. It's just not. It's not. It's not. But that being alone, I love solo stuff. In fact, I said it yesterday. We were on a walk and I said it yesterday. I said, I could see myself. I said, maybe I should go camping before the weather gets too cold. Maybe I should go camping. And I was like, because we were walking through a campground kind of by the lake by my house, and it was just a beautiful evening yesterday. It was just gorgeous. And I said, I could totally see myself camping like this, just by myself, solo camping, you know, because it's just so beautiful and peaceful and all that. And some people will never understand that, just so you know, because not everybody understands that. They think that means you don't want to be with them, or that means you're not happy, or that your life is too stressed. And sometimes it is. Yeah, vacation is sometimes because your life is stressed and you need a break or an escapation. But the truth is, it's a mecation. Like, I like to be with me. And I discovered that, I've known that a lot about myself anyway, but I've discovered that mostly when I've gone on solo trips for the last few years. I've done a lot of solo trips and I love it. It recharges me. I feel so connected because I like myself. Like, I like who I am. I get to spend time with me. So I'm alone. And I feel alone. And that's not bad. And sometimes I feel boredom, because if I'm totally by myself, I'm like, oh, wait, I'm getting a little bored. Well, I wonder why that is. Well, then it's time for an adventure. Go out, have coffee, talk to the barista, go for a walk, notice the dogs in the park, pet them, you know, go to a bookstore, read a great book, ask the people at the bookstore about stuff around town or whatever. Like, you can do so many things. You can interact. You create your own connection. So if you feel alone, create connection. Don't wait for somebody to find you or discover you or tap you on the shoulder and go, I pick you. It's not like that. You are the one you need. And I have said that too in therapy, like over and over again recently. I am the one I need. I am the one. It's me. It's me. And if you don't feel so good about yourself, I can see how it would feel bad to know that it is you. But know that that's just part of the sorting out process, the reorganizing process, the feeling bad, the understanding your pain process, not reliving it, not making other people's reactions to your pain or your life experience mean more than what you are and what you are today versus what experience you had when you were 8, or what experience you had when you were 25, or whatever that is. That to be in this just beautiful time right now where it's about you. It's about you. And so being alone, I think, is such a gift. In balance, in moderation, because you can't keep people away all the time, because that then becomes sadness. And sometimes the sadness becomes depression or despair, or it leads into other places. So there has to be a balance. That's really the alignment part, okay? It's really the alignment part. But I was describing, like, loneliness was a feeling, and being alone is a kind of a thing, a state of awareness. And for some of us, it's a gift, alone time. If you're a mom, a stay-at-home mom with kids, oh my God, isn't alone time, isn't being alone the greatest gift of all time history? And if you are an older person and you are in your assisted living or in your apartment, and all your kids and your grandkids and your great-grandkids are out living their lives, fully busy in that segment of their life, and you are by yourself with a phone and that's it, then that can be sad. So do you see how there's this balance and alignment that happens? The flow of things is important. All right, so let me see here. Sis. Self-care is important. Everything is energy. Yes. Lorraine, hi. Hi, nice to see you. I have to catch up here, Denise. Linda, hi, Linda. Nice to see you. Does it say Artie? I can't quite read your. Looking for your screen name. I'm gonna do my old Bridgette. I don't have my computer glasses on right now. Yeah, I think it says Art, ART7, A7. I'll call you. Talking about the New Age community. Oh, be careful. There's a little bit of judgy, but that's okay. I'm trying to be compassionate. I don't like judgy. The reason why I don't like it is because I think I have part of that myself. I think so. Because I'm judging your comment right now. New Age community. Yeah, it's hard. Like, stereotypes are challenging, aren't they? Yeah, the New Age community. I'm like, is that what I'm in? I'm like, what age am I? Am I new? Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Do you have any idea? Almost half a century old. Can you tell from my wrinkles? Like, look, see my neck? I'm wrinkle. Okay. All right. What else we got here? I'm good, thanks. Oh, nice to see you. Okay. I enjoy living by myself and my family. Yeah. Saying, what did she say? I gotta read this. Oh, I must interact. It's kind of fun to do that. Being a gray nomad is very normal here. Wait, what? I enjoy living by myself with my fur family, being a gray nomad. Oh, I like that vibe. Does that mean old? Are you saying old? Or does that mean, or was that a typo? Do you mean gray nomad? Funny. It's funny. Hey, Drew's here. Hi. Love and light. Yes, as always. I might need me some chocolates. I'm just saying. My coffee is cold. I must switch to water now. I'm just going to hang out for a little bit. This is a unique Sunday morning coffee. Like I said, it's been an unbelievable energy stretch. So Thursday, we had the death of the queen. So the transition of the divine feminine, allowing for the ending or completion of an era of a reign. And then that and all that means, because there's an opportunity then of retrospect to look over the 70-year history, regardless of whether you liked her or not, it doesn't matter. It's just, you probably didn't, because she was a woman ahead of her time and made choices that you may not have agreed with, but guess what? That is everybody. Don't you make choices people don't agree with? I'm thinking you probably do. Or don't you see other people make choices that you don't agree with their choices? And guess what? It doesn't matter, because you're not the one making the damn choice. If you're the one making the damn choice, then it's your alignment. You do the best you can. If you're in integrity, you're authentic, and you're literally doing the best you can, even if you make mistakes, it's okay. That's the cycle of the universe. That's how we grow. Okay. Like you've heard this before, okay, in spiritual and personal growth context, when a child is learning to walk, this reminds me of something I think Esther Hicks said, like, when a child is learning to walk and they fall down, you don't say, "Get up, you little dummy." You don't say that. That's exactly what she said too in her channeling. "Get up, you little dummy." You're just like, "Come on, you can do it. Keep going. Just stand up, try again." That kind of thing, like that. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. And some people are just complaining about it more than others. That's what judgment is. Oh my God, Bridgette, that's profound. I need to write that down. Judgment is complaining about it. I do it too. I just did it. You just saw me do it live. I'm like reading comic book. I'm like making all sorts of assumptions and inferences by what you just said, which is like, oh, that's based on my perspective, right? And now in retrospect, which you just saw happen in about 3 seconds, I'm like, oh, I'm in awareness. Oh, I'm judging. Oh, why is that? Oh, because I'm triggered. Oh, why is that? Because maybe, just maybe, being part of the New Age community or being considered a psychic has been a challenging way to pay the bills sometimes. Maybe there's a part of me that gets angry. I'm sure. Mm-hmm. And then yet there's a part of me that this is just who I am. I'm just psychic. It's just who I am. It's not what I do, you guys. I'm intuitive. I had this conversation in the wee hours of the morning this morning. When I was lying in bed, I said, I am just I am so intuitive, and I'm moving through my life now so consciously aware of my day-to-day living for Bridgette, not just in a session. I don't just turn it on and turn it off. I'm just living intuitively. I'm living the best in alignment that I can. And that involves communication, that involves hard conversations, that involves learning to listen, which I'm not so good at. People pay me to listen. Maybe that's why YouTube is not like my mainstream of income or anything, because I'm talking and not listening all the time. Oh, Bridgette, perspective. Oh, you guys, I love this. It's fascinating. I feel very intuitive. I feel so much like myself, more than I ever have. And I'm so grateful for that. And that is coexisting at the same time. I feel a crumpled pile of dirty laundry on the floor. Okay? So crumpled pile of dirty laundry on the floor, very wrinkled and kind of stinky because you exercise and you just threw that stinky stuff on there. Versus this is the beauty of knowing I know exactly who I am. Do you understand? I know. Yes, I do. And I'm able to share that with my loved ones. I should say my beloved ones. Let's say that. Yeah, like that. Okay. I don't want to let you guys go. I want to keep talking. It's well over an hour in Sunday Morning Coffee. Some people are going to be like, oh my gosh, Bridgette, what does this have to do with channeling? I'm like, oh. Then the sassy part of me, the judgy part of me is like, oh, I'm sorry. Did I disappoint you? Did I not meet your expectations? Would you like your money back? Oh, wait. I've never seen you before. You've never had a session with me. You don't even make comments except to complain. Oh, okay then. See you. Love and light. Look at me. I'm so sassy, you guys. I'm really not angry or agitated. I'm just being just facetious. I'm just being sassy. I love my work. I love what I do. I love this. I think I've alluded to it a couple of times. I don't know if I've actually shared it here on Bridgette Inspired on Instagram or Facebook, because I'm also Facebook Bridgette Inspired too. But I have an idea for a new kind of feature that I might either put on the Above Life channel or create its own little thing for, this little niche for, because I love to talk and I love to connect, and I think it would be really good to do that with you in different ways. So not like a service, not like a paid for thing, just a Bridgette thing. I'm sorry I was late. Oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. You're not late, but late than never. And being late, that's a perspective. Maybe you're exactly on time. Divine timing. I keep getting that card when I do card readings. It's divine timing. It's divine timing. You'll know in time, Bridgette. Because I've been trying to figure things out myself too. Even though we just learned that you're not supposed to figure things out or fix it. Well, I'm using the word fix it, but it said figure things out and control things. And I really need that. Like after something like happens and you have perspective, or after all of a sudden something clears, like it could be like when I had COVID or when I went to Disney and all sorts of stuff came up like bam, 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 bam. It's like I was being held down and punched in the face and the gut, in the face and the gut. It was awful, but it was also, what can I do but surrender? Be like, there's nothing I can do. I literally cannot control this. I can't control my body. I can't control other people giving me this or doing this to me, or because I was there, I was part of it. I had to be playing into it in order for this to get to this point. In order for it to get to this point, I had to have been playing into that, right? Or I had to have been believing in limited belief systems about that. I had to have been holding some grudges or things about my dad's life, about my life experience, about all sorts of personal stuff. You know what I mean? Like I had to have been I am an actor in the play. I am a participant. And so therefore then when there's a disconnect, or when there's this, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, it's coming in waves, the only thing I can do is just be with myself and in myself and holding myself. And I did. It's exactly what I did. That's exactly what I did. And now everything just feels different. Which is hard for other people more than it is for me. But it is hard for me too, because there's some things about life that I really just love and that I'm grateful for now. And I want to say, can I say, I'm going to be all sentimental, but oh well, you guys love me if you're watching still. Oh, excuse me. Why would you come on my, oh, come on. Oh. Bye. Okay. Sorry, I had to just remove a comment. It surprises me. I want to say, I don't want to say actual people's names because I mean, it's a public channel and this is a very public place. But I'm going to use your initials, okay? So some of you who are watching this in the after will know who you are, how much I appreciate you are. I appreciate you. God, thank you for so much. B, hey, I appreciate you too. Yes, we should go to the yes, we should. Yes. D, purple flowers and tattoos. Can't wait to see you in October. Oh, but I'm going south. S. The stars at night shine big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas. Why are you wearing that maxi dress? Didn't you wear that before for something? D. I'm sorry. And thank you. I'm so grateful for you. L. Talk about trailblazers, L. Miss Koe. That's what I'll call you. Miss Koe. You know who I'm talking about, right? L. Miss Koe. Talk about trailblazers. I miss our kitchen table coffee talks. The original badass. You inspire me. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I just got a question. Oh, and let me not, I have to do a shout out to somebody that matters a lot to me too. M. Sometimes you are a pain in the ass. But since we're blood relatives, we're related, I have to deal with you. And you have to deal with me. And you told me I am very judgy. And you are right. And in that moment, I appreciate the perspective. I'm just going to tell you that. And you know I'd do anything for you. And I have in the last several months. Let me just be clear. And I will continue to. No problem. Yeah, I think that covered everybody immediately that I'm working closely with, that's checking on me or that I'm talking to, or I hope I didn't miss anybody. Okay. All right, so I just got a question here. Let me just check this out. I got a question. Jennifer asks, are you still planning to do a channeling at Graceland? I would love to do that. I would love to do that. I would love to travel and do groups and channel and talk and inspire people and be a speaker. I would love to do that. It would be really great if I could be funded to do that, so that then I could do it, like travel and be there and be hosted and be supported. Yes, I would like to do that. So I have to figure out how to manifest things like that. And I'm thinking about that. And I'm not sure how that's going to all go down and work out. But yes, I'd like to. I don't have anything on the book specifically right now, but yes, I would like to. I was also hoping to do a retreat originally in October this year, but when there was that revamp of COVID and some other things going on, and when I got really sick, I was like, whoa, how do I even plan for this? Because, you know, like you invest money and time and all that. And then if people get sick and they can't come and that's a whole thing, like I can't, as a tiny little business person, I can't take on the financial responsibility for that right now. Maybe when I'm a big corporation, I would love to do that. I'd love to be a big, that would be awesome, wouldn't it? Yeah, let's build an empire. That was my word of the year for 2022, empire. And I didn't think it was going to be Empire Strikes Back vibe. I guess I should have been more specific when I picked my word of the year. You guys, seriously, I don't know if I have it in here. I have it on, I think it's on my altar over there. But I literally have a coin with my word empire on it. I have a bracelet too that says empire. I was thinking more of like a Mary Kay and an Avon and a empire, like that, not Star Wars, like, oh my gosh, we have to fight. Which side are you on? I didn't think we were doing deal with that this year, but apparently I'm very psychic and I know. And actually, it's so funny when I talked about being super intuitive. Let me just tell you. So I started my private group. I do private groups online because I love groups so much. I love groups. I like facilitating. I like holding space. You probably noticed that. Have you noticed that? I hope so. We're like a minute or an hour and 20 minutes into this. It's called Divine Woman. It's one of the offerings that I do. And then I invite people into this group. Like I invite them. So they're either clients or people that I've worked with before, people that I know that have that intuitive drive, desire, and they're doing their work. They're not just resourcing other people to tell them how to do their life. They are listening to other people, resourcing other people, and then integrating it, talking about it for themselves, figuring things out, and letting it go and doing their own stuff. Like it's a process. They're not looking for answers. They're looking for understanding. Huge difference. And so I invite them in. And we had, I think, 7 this last time. It's called Divine Woman. And we meet monthly around the full moon. And I hadn't done it for like a year. I had been on hiatus. Pulled them together on, just so happens it was on Thursday. Yeah, it was Thursday. It was the day that the Queen died. And Divine Feminine is about trailblazers, way showers. women who are walking the path, intuitive women. Oh my gosh, thank you for the super chat. Super chat, I just get some money. Yay. We'll have to convert it, but that's okay. You're so sweet. Thank you. Thank you, my dear. Trailblazers, way showers, game changers, intuitive women. That's what divine woman is. Women walking the fucking path. We met on that day and I was like, oh, this is what's going to happen. I hadn't even picked a theme or anything. And I'm like, whoa, guess why? Because the world has other ideas. So we talked about the queen and I channeled her. And yes, I intend to channel her again, maybe publicly for you guys. We'll see. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I don't know. I think everybody's going to be doing it. So I have this aversion to doing what everybody else does. So if other people are doing it, I'm like, oh, why would I do it? It's so samey, sames. And I'm so not the same. But if I want to do it, I'll just do it anyway. So it's kind of like wearing flannel. Even though everybody else does it, when I do it, it's so different. I was thinking about this morning when I put on a hoodie. I'm like, should I go flannel today? I am not ready to fully embrace the fall yet. It's not autumn. All right. So anyway, divine woman. So we had that happen that day, right? And so then I went into group and I'm like, hey, guess what we're talking about? Us as women and the legacy we lead and the lineage that we hold and what we share. What does this mean for us? And what does that mean? And what do we do now to support this new stage or state? And the day before, I posted in that group a reminder for Divine Woman, because I have a Facebook group for it. So I posted, I said, hey, remember, here's the link for tomorrow's meeting and blah, blah, blah. And I posted a card that I have sent to somebody, which is so ironic the tie here, because the person I sent it to was, I've been very connected to, okay, for a long time. Not recently, but for a long time. And it was a card that said, courage was her crown, and she wore it like a queen. I posted that Wednesday. The queen died Thursday morning, right? We heard about it. Her courage was her crown, and she wore it like a queen in my Divine Woman group that just so happened to restart. And by the way, the symbol is a flame, and it says reignite on Thursday. Then the retrograde happened on Friday, the full moon happened on Saturday, and then Sunday is 9/11. Yeah, I'm psychic. I don't predict. I just know and feel. So too do you. We're all intuitive. If you have a soul, which I'm guessing you do if you're watching this, it might be a little on the darker side, but if you have a soul, you're intuitive. Period. All right, so I'm going to get ready to wrap this up. Sandy, lovely morning here in Central Oklahoma. Wish I could share. The cows calling. Oh, the crows. The crows. I've never been to Oklahoma. See, wouldn't it be cool? I should totally do a tour, just like a living room tour or something. Go to places and hang out with people for a while and then go to a different place and do a tour, do a talk, do a live stream. That'd be kind of fun. Someday, maybe I could do that. Like if this was my job, my career, that maybe, I don't know. Oh, that just gave me a weird perspective right there. Something I used to drive for, kill for, die for, want so bad. And now I'm like, we'll see what happens. I trust the universe. I have not been to Europe. And I need to get a passport because I really, 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 I want to go to the United Kingdom. I need to go there. And I have enough clients, I think, and people that could maybe host me or take me around and stuff. Like if I got there, I think I could be kind of taken under the wing. Everyone, they could just pass me up to another person and I could go and I could video and I could channel and I could talk and maybe I could make some money, that kind of thing. Oh my gosh, you're so sweet. Thanks for the super chat again. Just again. But I'd like to go to other places too. Like I love the idea of going to UK, and I would love to also go to Ireland. But when I go to Ireland, I have to have already done my Celtic wheel training and all that stuff because I have a huge psychic lineage that connects me so deeply to Ireland, and I'm not ready to embody that and study that deeply. Once I am, then I'd like to go there, or maybe I'll be called just randomly to go there, and then I will get the downloads and be in that state because I love it and it's such an important part of me. And I want to do that now in the next decade of my life. I'm going to set some intentions after my big birthday next year and make some plans. And I think it would be super cool to go to Italy. Can you imagine me in Italy? I might stand out a little. I'm thinking that. Maybe I should go to like Germany, Norway, Sweden, although I'm not super, I gotta be super honest. The German thing, it seems so Midwestern anyway. Like I feel immersed in that a lot, like especially Wisconsin and stuff seems like that. There are very historic things that I would like to, I shouldn't say like to, I feel almost like at some point in my life, I might need to do that just to have a resting of a part of one of my past lives there. I might need to do that, but I can do that by being in another, like, Poland, or I could be in another place around there. And then it doesn't have to be in Germany, is what I'm trying to say. There's other things that I can connect to. If I am called to that, I don't know, we'll see. But then, my sister wants to go like Norway and that kind of thing, and Sweden. I guess it's really expensive there though, so I don't know. I don't think so. I think it'd be super cool to go to Switzerland, Belgium. I mean, there's a lot of cool places that would be interesting to go to. So, I mean, Italy would be good. And I think Eat, Pray, Love made me want to go to Italy. Although, for a person who doesn't eat gluten, I don't know if that's going to be fair. But I do drink wine, so maybe there's a balance there. I'd like to go to France. I'd like to see the Eiffel Tower, the cheesy stuff that people do. But I'd also like to go to Disneyland, Euro Disney. Wouldn't that be so fun? Oh my gosh. And you can do that though. I can just take the tube from, I think, the UK over to France and then do that. Now that would be a retreat. I think I need to meet some more international friends. So there's so many beautiful places I'd love to see. I haven't even been to Canada. Let me just say, I have not been to Canada. I have been like on cruises and out of the US and stuff, but just where you go to ports. Like I haven't stayed overnight places. So I'm trying to think, where have I been? Like Barbados, Antigua, St. Martin, Martinique. I've been to Mexico. Mostly like Cozumel, Playa del Carmen, and what other place where have I been? I haven't been to the pyramids though. Speaking of that, oh my gosh, I'd love to go to like Jerusalem, Israel. Oh my God. I really want to go. Oh, this might rub some people. I'd like to go to the Palestinian side. That's where I feel connected. It's there. That's where I'd like to go. In fact, during my Christmas holidays, I do the walk through the streets with people that are vloggers there. I walk through the streets and I feel very immersed sometimes, and it's always that side. But I think that would be a cool thing to do once in your life. It's a little too dangerous in my view. Although America's pretty dangerous right now too. Let me just say so. I don't know. Potato, it's just perspective, I guess, right? But Egypt might be cool. Although I really don't know that I would fit in there at all. Greece would be cool, but yeah, I don't know. I've heard some. I don't know. It's beautiful. Like I think any kind of Persian vibe would be. Can't go to Turkey right now. There's no way that's going to happen. Greece is beautiful. Like I feel there's a past life vibe for me, a devotion there that I feel. I can tell you that right now, 100%. No question. Greece and Ireland are the two main ones, I think, for me. Anyway, okay, so let me look here and see. I should probably wrap this up because I'm probably getting boring to you guys. Oh, Hallie, hey! Hi, Hallie. Yes, come to Canada. Get your feet wet with traveling, yes. Oh, really? Oh, my favorite hotel right now. Well, one of my favorites at Disney World, Walt Disney World. Somebody just mentioned Disney, so I'm going to mention it. Is the Riviera Hotel, which is like the French and Italian Riviera, I guess, mixed together kind of vibes. The Greek islands, they're supposed to be amazing. Yeah, wouldn't that be amazing? I just, like the whole Oracle of Delphi vibes. That's so, I have that. That's my part of my lineage. I know. I am an Oracle for sure. You could totally crash on my couch. Thanks, Sandy. Yeah, I'm not going to be crashing on a couch these days. That's the thing. I need a very comfortable, beautiful hotel room. That's the situation with Bridgette. I'm very not spoiled, particular. I have preferences. But you're sweet, thank you. Right. So what else? The oldest park in the world. Oh, cool. All right, my lovies. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Let us wrap this beautiful conversation that we've had using my beautiful rose oil. Let's have a smell of this. It literally like opens my heart space. I'm just going to do a little dab on my heart. Yes, for all of us in our collective heart. Thank you so much for being here. This has been a very unique Sunday morning coffee with Bridgette on Above Life channel. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at Bridgette Inspired, on Facebook at Bridgette Inspired right now. Those are the places you can find me. And here at Above Life channel. YouTube. Tomorrow is Monday, so I need to do a channel. Like, gee, I wonder who I should channel. I have a few ideas. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you all. Thank you for chatting. I appreciate you as well. Very, very much. I hope I've inspired your spirit today and filled you with hope, encouraged you to live your life. That's the point of this, after all, for each one of us. It's your life. You get to live it. Just live it. Thank you for being here. Have a great day.